I sat down planning to just sprinkle in a little bit of fall decor, and then I realized my whole plaza was a mess. So instead of a few pumpkins, we're tearing it all down and rebuilding it from scratch. Grab a cozy drink because this is a full speed build makeover of my Disney Dreamlight Valley Plaza. If you enjoy cozy builds, make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. Tap that like button, or don't. But if you don't, I'm assuming you're the kind of person who steals candy from kids on Halloween, so that's up to you. So let's go ahead and let's get into this build. I went ahead and I actually spared you guys seeing me clear the land. Maybe I should have given you a little shot of what it looked like before, but that's okay. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. I originally wanted my plaza to look like, what is it, like Main Street USA or whatever, where there's like a lot of buildings and you're coming into Disneyland, and on either end of the streets up on the cliff sides you would see some kind of castle, and it would feel like a Disneyland experience, right? Because originally I wanted my entire Dreamlight Valley to be a theme park, and I may still do some of that, but I decided when I was coming in to put in seasonal decorations, I really didn't have space for seasonal decorations. Like, it didn't make it in a way that I could put in a ton of seasonal decorations. And I've gotten a lot of newer buildings. Let me just tell you, I'm really behind on this. A lot of other people have like crazy amount of buildings. I don't have all those buildings yet. I saw somebody had a bakery. I don't have that yet, but we'll get there. But with the new buildings that I have, like Daisy's shop, I really wanted to have like sectioned kind of neighborhoods, districts, if you will. And so I started off with a little bit of like a residential district, and then a shopping district and a restaurant district. And then the last little corner I really wanted was sort of like, what is that place called? Central Park. I really wanted it to be like Central Park, and it kind of devolved or evolved. I don't know, it changed, but we'll get to that. So at first, I started working on the little residential section. I really wish I had some sort of like basketball hoop or something I could put in this back corner. But for now, that actually ended up being where all of my plaza flowers go, so that I can hopefully easily find them before it rains, so I can finally water these things. I swear, I need so many of those puzzle pieces, but you'll even see it in this video. My valley rains all the freaking time, all the time. So I never get to water dry flowers. It's like the only puzzle pieces I'm missing is the dry flowers ones. So my hope is maybe as we change out the way my whole valley looks, I'll be able to like have plots where all of those flowers go. So maybe I'll get to water them before the game does. Maybe. And then I moved on over to the little shopping district area. I just wanted this to kind of feel like a shopping area, you know? Like, when you go out to some of these outdoor malls, there's usually some sort of fountain and somewhere to sit, and I wanted it to feel like a shopping district, and so that's how I ended up here. I was actually really impressed with myself when I was laying out the pathways over in this section. I didn't count anything, and then as I started laying out the pathing, I'm like, the pathing fits perfect. I didn't even really have to like adjust. So that was kind of nice. I'm like, dang, winging it over here, and it worked. So pretty proud of that. Okay, I do eventually decide I don't like having the wrought iron fence next to Daisy's because it feels weird, like you're going into, I don't know, like an alley to get to Daisy's place, and it wasn't as open as I wanted it to feel. So eventually we do take out that little like fencing section, but that has not come yet. Another thing that really bothers me is this little bitty rock section at the very top of this area. Like, I can't put down decorations there because the rock's in the way. I don't know. I tried my best. I did want to try and utilize a lot of flowers, as my like seasonal decoration, if you will. So I start to incorporate like yellow, red, and orange flowers everywhere because I feel like that's something I can easily swap out every season to just change the colors and the vibes that are going on. So you will start to see me dropping down a ton of flowers, and that's why. Like, that's what I used it for. I feel like that's a really easy way, especially for me, because I have apparently not played enough. There is a lot of materials out there that I'm missing that I haven't bought yet. So flowers is a great way to do this. And you can see me, I regretted my decision to dump so many flowers in this one corner. Eventually I had to go in and I had to like pick them all up. It was awful, but I digress. Another thing I vastly underestimated was how much padding I needed. I had stuff here. I don't know, like, I guess because I had so many buildings here beforehand, I didn't actually have as much padding as I thought I did, because I think I had to make more padding like 6 times. It took a lot of running back and forth to the workstation to get as much padding as I needed. So here's like the second go at attempting to put down all this padding. I did have like originally what was here was like a track system. I faked like a train track down the middle of Main Street. So I had more than one padding type, but I swear I don't know why I'm running out so easily. I don't know. Okay, and then we moved on to the little restaurant district. I wanted this to feel like bistro, if you will. Bistro, like, I don't know, like in I think it's called like the French district in at Disney World, Disneyland, right? I don't know. But like the idea of multiple restaurants next to each other, and they might have a little bit of a shared eating space outside and a little patio. And that was my thought with the little restaurant district over there. And then apparently I didn't stick to like one corner at a time at all. I moved around the whole time. So from there, I moved back to the residential district so that I could give a little bit of a seating space and a little bit of decorations to make it look more fall related. Did I? I don't know if I did that. Maybe I didn't even touch the residential district much except for moving the fence. Oh, and then I went back to the shopping district, and that's where I moved that fence. Oh my goodness, this is a shitty voiceover, you guys. I'm sorry. Plus, I noticed my mouth is not moving great. It's just one of those days, y'all. It is just one of those days. I wish I did not spend as much time as I did on this little like display outside of Daisy's. I don't know what it is. I wanted it to feel like a little picture display, and everything didn't quite line up the way I wanted it to. I really don't love the, it's not hit boxes, but like the placement boxes of all the items. Some of them are a little weird. They're a little strange. Also, I really want to go in at some point, maybe live on stream, I'll do that, and make a outfit that is fall themed to go in that window to also add to like the picture ambiance of this little nook. But right now it's just a naked mannequin. Sorry. That's just what it is. I wish we could like put maybe what we're regularly wearing on there, you know, just to fill it so it's not a nude one in the window. But we can't. So it is what it is for now. I also had to do quite a few trips to Scrooge because of items I thought I had and couldn't find. I swear I have a house somewhere in the valley that is full of Dream Snap setups, and I couldn't find it. So I don't think I've taken those Dream Snaps down, but I don't know where they're at. So I'm missing a lot of stuff, and I had to go buy a lot more, and I haven't been upkeeping my pumpkin patch the way I should have, so I had to like grow some pumpkins, pick some pumpkins, grow some more, sell some more. To do a lot to make this work. I'm like, I'm a broke bitch, you guys. Yeah, so that was one other issue too. But it also meant that I had like pumpkin crops that I could sprinkle around town as well. And that was kind of fun and useful, right? Instead of, I didn't want to put out the jack-o'-lanterns. I didn't want to put out the candy baskets. I will probably do those a little closer to Halloween. I'll probably do a little bit of an update where I sprinkle in some of those things. I did put a couple of jack-o'-lanterns out, but I turned them so you didn't see the faces. I just wanted the fall pumpkin vibes for right now. And then, I don't know, maybe a week or two before Halloween. I feel like we gotta be in October. Maybe in October, like 1st, I'll go put some jack-o'-lanterns out. Yeah, but for right now, it's just fall. We're just cutesy fall, okay? That's all I wanted. Overall, I really actually liked the shopping district and how it looked without the wrought iron fence. Wrought iron? Is that how you say it? Without the wrought iron fence, I felt like it still has a really nice separation without feeling overly crowded and cut off in a weird way, like from traffic. It still is, but it doesn't look weird. So I do like how that one ended up turning out in an attempt to keep flowers from spawning everywhere. And I don't know, does it? I think it keeps like garlic and oregano. I think those are kept off of paths too. So in an attempt to keep those from spawning everywhere, I did put a lot of pathing down, even in like quote unquote green spaces. I put down the like leaf litter and twigs and mud ones in an attempt to control it. So far, I don't understand, because I do still have flowers spawning where they're not supposed to spawn, even though I have enough of those over in my little garden section. I don't know how to deal with that yet, but I'll get there. I will get there. And then I felt like, okay, since this was kind of a town, in the center of town would be like a clock tower. And so I put the cute little clock tower. It's actually one of my favorite items, and I haven't gotten to use it a lot. So it is now front and center. Put the little clock tower down. And I wanted to introduce like more lights without putting in like lights, like street lamps. And so I really like those blue kind of curly, I don't know what they're called. They have like an arch over the top with lanterns in them. And it just brings a little touch of like whimsy to the area, especially right there around the clock tower. And here is about the time when I realized I put way too many damn flowers down. I don't know why I thought I needed a whole stack of flowers. Why did I think I needed a whole stack of flowers? And then the bad part at the time, my companion was one of the birds. And so if I had any of them in my pocket, the birds started picking them up. Like, stop it. So I had to like turn off the bird collection. I think I changed my companion is actually what I did for the time being. That's one thing. I don't have a vacuum yet. I don't know a whole lot about it. Does it pick up like non-bio stuff? So if I'm using, I can't think, the sunflowers I don't come from the Plaza. If I'm using sunflowers in this area, will the vacuum pick it up? I love the idea of the vacuum, especially for the twigs, but I'm a little worried what it will do to my landscaping because I use the flowers a lot in how I decorate. I finally made it back over to the restaurant area. I actually realized like I didn't have any chairs for these. I looked through like my craftables and I realized there's like a bistro chair and it fits perfectly for the Tiana tables that I had out. But then for the tables I wanted to put out for Remy's place, I didn't have chairs. I didn't have anything that was like, other than just like those wood kind of old chairs that look like they're gonna break. I don't know, I just didn't have any. And so then I found the diner chairs, I think, at Scrooge's, thank goodness. And I bought a bunch of diner chairs. They don't quite fit the vibe that I want, but for now, it's what's gonna have to work until I get some other kind of chair option. And of course, over at Tiana's place, I had to set the table. It's funny because I really didn't feel like Remy's needed table settings, but Tiana's needed table settings. And I went ahead and decorated the area with a bunch of like pumpkins and fall themed things. And I put the like slow cooker thing over by her building as well. I did originally have Tiana's stall near her restaurant, thinking like those made sense together, but I did end up moving it this time instead of keeping them side by side like I did in my last build. It's been so long since I did any kind of building in Disney Dreamlight Valley that I actually haven't used the diagonal movement thing yet. So Remy's building is actually the first time I turned a building on a diagonal, and I really didn't have a reason for it. I really didn't have a reason for it, but then I realized I had such a big gap behind his building, I probably should fill it, or else plants and things will spawn back there, but it also would look a lot better from below if it was filled. So that was an interesting little conundrum. There was not a lot that like fit back there because of the diagonal. I don't know, I just decided I wanted to mess with the diagonals. I think it looks okay now. I think it worked. I think I made it work. But I was just like, no rhyme or reason. No plans whatsoever. I was just making it the way it was. I don't know. Okay, at this point, I decided I needed to finish up like all of the pathing if I wanted any kind of symmetricalness, if that's a word. I don't actually know if like the center pieces are fully symmetrical. Wasn't too worried about it. I kind of noticed later that maybe they're a block or two off, but I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother with it. Okay. You can see I'm starting to work on the little Central Park area. My idea with Central Park was kind of food truck and food stalls, farmers market was the idea. And that's why I brought Buzz's little RV up, because I was thinking that's the closest thing to a food truck that I have. And then I brought Tiana's cart over. I brought over one of those regular carts that you put your own stuff on, the ice cream stand. And as I started adding more and more stuff over here, I actually decided to like section the two parts off. So it kind of went from like farmer's market section to like picnic / camp section. I don't know. I may still tweak that one. That might be more of a rotation piece where I can like adjust what happens in the like picnic park area, because maybe the RV doesn't quite make sense there anymore. I don't know. It looks okay. It looks fine. Maybe the farmer's market, like the person at the farmer's market lives in the RV. I don't know, okay? It is what it is. I do feel like I go back and forth a lot as I'm scrolling through. I'm like, oh, I can use this over here. Oh, I can use that over there. And so I'm sorry, it's a little, I don't want to say chaotic, but maybe chaotic. It's a little disjointed. We go back and forth a lot. It's okay. I mean, it's the way I do it. It's the way I do it. It is what it is. But you can see I'm filling in more and more pieces of the little Central Park area. I did go ahead and like make some, what are they called? Desserts. I picked out things that I felt like food. I picked out food that I felt like had a fall feel to them, like pies, buñuelos, what else? Beignets, things like that, I don't know, they just felt like a farmer's market in fall. And like when I go to the farmer's market, sometimes I just want like a really warm, ooey gooey homemade item, right? And so I did go ahead and like cook some of those things up, some cookies I think too, so that I could put them out as if it was like another vendor was selling those things, like a little bake sale section. Honestly, I'm really proud of the way it turned out. I think it's cute. The rain. Okay, literally because I thought I was just redecorating this area, I spent all day on this instead. And so I really didn't plan my time well. So you can tell that the time has changed in the game. This is several hours later. I think I spent maybe 6 hours on this. It was supposed to be like an hour-long project, you guys. It was not supposed to be an all-day project, and ended up being an all-day project. But the rain. I need the ability to like F off with the rain, okay? Because some of the times I was trying to avoid filming, I was like, well, we'll wait for the rain to stop. And then like as soon as I would get out of the furniture mode, the rain would start. And every time I wanted to draw pumpkins or flowers in the area, I have to go to my inventory out of furniture mode. Oh, it was so frustrating. And I felt like it rained all day with like small little gaps in between. I'm like, can we not? We've done this already. This is not the tropics, okay? But finally, I did get everything semi-situated. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to see a lot of the build, this like last part of the build in the freaking rain. But I guess it's kind of rainy in fall, kind of, maybe. It is a little bit here where I'm at in the American Southeast. We get a little more rain about now. It rained yesterday, rained today. So maybe it's a seasonal rain. Maybe it suits what's going on. It's just frustrating. I couldn't even do my dream snap. Dream snap was broken. But before I knew it was broken, I was waiting on it to stop raining so I could take my picture. I finally got the picture. And then it was broken. Like, why? Can we just work? I did actually get my dream snap in this morning, so it was okay. It was just frustrating at the time because I waited all day for the rain to stop. And then it didn't work. And it's funny because I actually saw somebody else's YouTube video about how they anticipated moonstones to come in for free because Dream Snaps was broken. And I'm like, they fixed it before the end of the Dream Snap. I don't think we're getting any moonstones. I hope I'm wrong. I need some more. There's a lot of cute stuff in that premium shop. I got the cute owl today. And generally what I try to do, I know I'm not talking about the build at all at this point. I'm just doing centerpieces, kind of trying to make them look alike. Okay. Being indecisive. Okay. I try to save my moonstones for the Star Path and is it premium? I don't know, the extra part of the Star Path, right? Because I generally find I get almost all of my moonstones back. And I like being able to do maybe 6 tasks instead of 3. So I generally try to save it for that and then hopefully get them back. And for the most part, I feel like I get a good majority of my moonstones back from the Star Paths. And then making sure I get on like every day to get the little blue chest, I think is important. So I finally had a little bit of spare, a little bit of extra, and I got the cute little owl companion, and I love him dearly. This is the cutest thing ever. But I want some of the other stuff in there as well. So Disney Dreamlight Valley, if you feel like giving us some moonstones because Dream Snaps didn't work, I wouldn't hate it, okay? It's obviously getting later and later in the day. It is getting darker and darker, but it's kind of cute. You can actually see like how the light's working in the little areas. It's not too bad. I don't hate it. I think if any of them, fall is a great time to do the build kind of at night. I don't know, it's cute, you know, like to see it all lit up and glowy, kind of cozy feeling. So I don't hate it. Just wasn't what I anticipated. I thought I would have been done hours ago. I thought this video would have been out last Sunday. I spent so much time on it, but that's okay. You can see me kind of like struggle with how do I place down and fill all these spaces. I really wanted to limit what stuff could spawn in the plaza. I want to control where things spawn in at. And so I was trying to make sure everything was filled with like tons of flowers and keep my bird from picking the flowers up. It was a little stressful. I'm like, and some of these flowers, I don't understand their placement boxes. I don't know what that's called. Tell me what that's called. But some of them, I don't understand the placement boxes. Some are like a single square, and then similar sized ones are 4 square, and then other similar sized ones are like 9 squares. Excuse me? And so that's a bit of a pain, but I think overall I got it to work out. It's not too bad. It does help that when I started putting down actual pumpkins, like the produce pumpkins, they can sit, even though, and I can move them in the furniture thing, they can still sit on the tiles. So I was able to fill up some of the spaces that really weren't accessible with flowers, with, you know, because of their boxes. I could just like fill those spaces with pumpkins, which I think worked out okay. I don't hate it. Although now I'm broke and I might have to go collect the pumpkins out of the plaza just to make some money. I really want to do a farm island. I feel like I need a farm island. And then something we're going to be working on live on stream, I think it's already happened by the time this video comes out, is a storage island. I am tired of my storage being inside of a building, because I have to fast travel to that area, then go into a building, and then find the correct room within that building. I think I like the idea of an island better. I think that's, no matter where I am, I can fast travel to the island, and like, it just feels quicker to me, right? So we're gonna be working on that live on stream. I am trying to make a transition back to cozy things. I think I made some mistakes. Maybe not. I enjoyed it. Here's the thing. I started playing some games that are not quite quote unquote cozy, like Hollow Knight. It's my cozy at this point. I love it. It's super fun. But it opened me up to a world of like more RPGs and more platformers. And I don't love the audience that I have gathered from that. I really enjoy my cozy audience. And I'm not saying all of the audience, but some of the audience that I have gotten from those other games are borderline abusive. So I really want to get back into the cozy stuff and just hanging out with my cozy friends. And so we're trying to incorporate more of the cozy stuff into the live streams and back into the videos. And here's a quick look at everything as I start to end. Yeah, I just did like a really, really quick overview of everything, but I gave you guys a little shot of what it all looks like, how I tried to contain the flowers and stuff in the area by putting down the paths in the little central park and all of the things. Was that a very good, complete voiceover? I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've done any kind of voiceover of this nature, and I don't normally use the VTuber model in my voiceovers, but I'd like to make some more connection between all of my content. I feel like there's a lot of disconnect in between what is put out on video, what is put out on stream, and what is put out on shorts, and I want to create a consistent brand with the audience that I love, the audience that treats me really kindly. So there's going to be some changes. I'm sure you've already noticed some of those changes. Yeah, I think that's everything I got to tell you guys for now. Okay. I hope you guys had a really good day. I hope you guys liked this build. Give me some feedback. Like literally, if you dislike this, let me know. If you like it, let me know. If you want to see something different, if you think there's a better way I could have done the build part, let me know. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends. We went into airplane pilot mode.